Good day and welcome to Mayor King's TV News. I am Timiola Emanuela. Now to begin the news, here are some of our top stories. Oborevwori builds 30 housing units for soldiers in Delta. Speaker Goro pledges Assembly support for digital innovation at Delta Social Media Summit. On entertainment, Burna Boy, Davido, Arya Star and others nominated for Afrima 2025. In the world of sports, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City new league face opponents. Now the news in full. Determined to help address accommodation shortage, the Delta State Governor Right Honorable Sheriff Oborevwori have built and donated 30 housing units of one-bedroom flat to officers and soldiers of the 131 Amphibious Battalion Agbo. The governor, who was represented at the event by the Secretary to the State Government SSG, Dr. Kingsley Emu, said the housing project was part of government resolve to continue to collaborate and partner with security agencies in the state. Oborevwori said the housing units project was not just about new buildings but a reaffirmation of government's commitment to the welfare of its soldiers and the security architecture that guarantees peace and development. The governor commended the former Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, for his contributions in attracting the barracks to Delta and lauded President Bola Tinubu's administration for its renewed commitment to tackling security challenges nationwide. He expressed gratitude to the Nigerian Army, particularly the 63 Brigade and the 181 Amphibious Battalion, for their sacrifice in combating oil theft, criminality and other threats to peace in the state and the region. Oborevwori further noted that the project was in line with the meaningful development and enhanced peace and security pillars of his administration's more agenda, stressing that development and security must go hand in hand. The Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Imomotimi Dennis Gowo, has commended the organizers of the Delta State Social Media Summit for their commitment to harnessing the power of social media as a tool for sustainable development and job creation. Delivering a goodwill message at the third edition of the summit held in Asaba, the Speaker described social media as a dynamic engine for economic growth, social awareness, political engagement, and cultural promotion, noting that its influence now extends far beyond personal interaction. Represented by its Chief Press Secretary CPS, Nkem Wanke, the Speaker said the summit's theme, Brand Delta, Grow Delta, reflects the aspirations of the state to leverage digital platforms not only to tell its unique story, but also to create opportunities and foster prosperity for its people. The Speaker stressed that social media must go beyond branding to serve as a platform for empowerment through strategic engagement, skills acquisition, and innovation. He urged young people to embrace opportunities in content creation, digital marketing, entrepreneurship, and influential branding as pathways to economic diversification and job creation. However, reaffirming the legislature's commitment, Gowo assured that the Delta State House of Assembly under its leadership will continue to advocate for policies that promote digital literacy, expand access to technology, and improve infrastructure, thereby creating an enabling environment for digital innovation. Delta State Governor Right Honorable Sheriff Oborevwori on Thursday urged the Brazilian business community to take advantage of the vast investment opportunities in Delta, stressing that the state is strategically positioned to become a hub for trade, agriculture, energy, and industrial development in Nigeria and West Africa. Oborevwori made the call in Sao Paulo while delivering remarks at the Delta State Focused Business and Investment Roundtable, where he highlighted the state's natural endowments, strategic location, and ongoing reforms aimed at creating an investor-friendly environment. The governor noted the strong historical and cultural ties between Nigeria and Brazil, pointing to shared similarities in population size, agricultural potential, cultural diversity, tropical climate, and a mutual love for football. He described the roundtable as a platform to forge strategic partnership that would accelerate sustainable growth in both countries. He further highlighted Delta's long coastline, four seaports, and the ongoing concession of the Brutu seaport, which he said is poised to become a major transshipment hub for West and South Africa. Also, Oborevwori emphasized the state's infrastructure advantage as a connecting point to major Nigerian markets such as Lagos, Onitsha, and Aba, supported by three functional airports and an expanding road network that enhances movement of goods and services. The Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) Lagos State Chapter is demanding 150,000 naira minimum wage for Lagos State workers following the increase in minimum wage by Imo and Ebonyi governments. The chairperson of NLC Lagos State Chapter, Mrs. Funmi Sesi, made a call on Thursday while reacting to the minimum wage increase by Imo and Ebonyi governments. Sesi told the News Agency of Nigeria that there was a need for Lagos State to increase minimum wage for its workers from the current 85,000 naira to 150,000 naira in line with economic realities. She said that accommodation, transport, feeding, and utilities were more expensive in Lagos than in other states. The chairperson said that the minimum wage increase for Imo and Ebonyi workers was a welcome development for the labor force in Nigeria. According to her, NLC is hopeful that all other state governments will emulate Imo and Ebonyi governments in the decision. Now on entertainment news. The All Africa Music Awards (AFRIMA) has unveiled the nominees for its 2025 edition, displaying a diverse range of talented African artists. With a record-breaking 10,717 entries, the competition is set to be fierce. Nigerian superstars Burna Boy and Davido lead the pack with 5 nominations each, including Album of the Year for their respective albums, No Sign of Weakness and Five. They'll also compete in the Song of the Year and Best Collaboration categories. Other notable nominees include Charlie Poppy, who scored 4 nominations, including Artist of the Year and Song of the Year for his collaboration Laho. Arya Starr earned 2 nominations, including Artist of the Year, where she will go up against Burna Boy, Davido, and Moroccan rapper El Grande. The award ceremony will take place in Lagos from November 25 to November 30th, 2025, featuring various events such as the Afrima Music Village, Africa Music Business Summit, Nominees Party, and the Grand Finale on November 30th. The diversity of nominees, including artists from Nigeria, South Africa, Morocco, Senegal, Ghana, and the diaspora, reflects the richness and global reach of African music. Now on the business news. The federal government has announced a significant increase in Nigerian passport application fees, effective from September 1st, 2025. According to the Nigerian Immigration Service NIS spokesperson, A.S. Akinlabi, the new rates are set to enhance the quality and integrity of the Nigerian standard passport. The new development includes a 32-page, 5-year validity passport, 100,000 naira, and a 64-page, 10-year validity passport of 200,000 naira. The new pricing affects only passports processed in Nigeria. Applications for Nigerians abroad remain unchanged at $150 for a 32-page 5-year and $230 for a 64-page 10-year. However, the NIS reaffirmed its commitment to making passport services more efficient and accessible despite the upward review. Now on the foreign news. Kyiv and other parts of Ukraine came under a major combined missile and drone attack overnight into Thursday. Ukraine officials said with at least 22 people, four of them children, killed in the capital. Ukraine's Air Force said Russia launched 598 drones and 31 missiles into the country overnight, of which 563 drones and 26 missiles were shot down or suppressed. Impacts were reported across 13 locations, the Air Force said, with falling debris reported in 26 locations. Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko said in a post on to Telegram that it was a terrible night for the capital. He reported many damaged buildings across the five city districts. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said there were strikes on a Turkish enterprise, the Embassy of Azerbaijan, the EU delegation, the British Council, and residential areas. He said the strikes represented a clear response to everyone in the world who for weeks and months has been calling for a ceasefire and real diplomacy. Russia chooses ballistics over the negotiating table. It chooses to continue the killings rather than end the war. Zelensky further called for pressure, such as sanctions and tariffs, and said Ukraine is counting on strong steps. He urged a response from nations like China and Hungary, which have expressed sympathy with Russia's position. Now in the world of sports. The 2025/2026 UEFA Champions League draw for the league phase was held in Monaco, France yesterday, with some exciting fixtures lined up for the Premier League representatives. Reigning FIFA Club World Cup champions Chelsea will face familiar foes Barcelona, Bayern Munich, as well as Ajax and Napoli. The Blues, who won the UEFA Conference League last season, will also take on Atlanta, Paphos, Benfica, and Karabakh. They will host Barcelona, Benfica, Ajax, and Paphos at Stadium Bridge and will be guests to Bayern Munich, Atlanta, Napoli, and Karabakh. Before the draw got underway, the Blues were presented with a special award for becoming the first club to win the sixth UEFA's Men competition. It is the first time Chelsea will compete in Champions League since the introduction of the 36-team league phase. For Arsenal, they will take on Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, Atletico Madrid, Club Brugge, Olympiacos, Slavia Prague, Kairat Almaty, and Atletico Bilbao. Mikel Arteta's men will host Bayern, Atletico, Olympiacos, and the Bontans Kairat at Emirates Stadium. Then on their travels, they will return to the San Siro to tackle Inter for the second season in a row, as well as trips to Bruges, Prague, and Bilbao. Now to hand the news, a quick recap on our headlines. Oborevwori builds 30 housing units for soldiers in Delta. Speaker Gowa pledges Assembly support for digital innovation at Delta Social Media Summit. On entertainment, Burna Boy, Davido, Arya Star, and others nominated for Afrima 2025. On sports, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City new league face opponents. That's the news as read and edited by Tiniela Emanuela. Thanks for watching.